Hello, good evening. We're coming online. Um, this is not the usual time. I started last week on a schedule every morning, and so excuse me, we started a morning schedule this past week, and I do intend to keep up with that. So we'll be streaming every morning at 6:15ish in the morning, about an hour and a half. So yes, this is a little out of the ordinary, but you know what? I had some time and thought, why not do some streaming? Now there's a lot of competition at this time, so it's a little crazy. There's a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff going on right now. I've actually I don't stream a lot myself, so I just happen to be sitting around watching some Command Zone today. Been enjoying that. Watched Reed Duke, if you like to follow any of the pros. Reed Duke was on Command Zone when they did their Brawl video, so it's been a little while ago. That was Throne of Eldraine. Melissa Del Toro, so another pro. She is not just a great pro, but great personality. Really enjoy that. Ashlyn Rose is on one I was watching recently too. So a lot of great personalities there. If you like that, definitely tune in. So we are about to do some jank stuff. So we're going to be on the historic ladder, and we might climb, we might fall, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Let's see, we've got some coins we can flip over here. We didn't get any 750s out of that one, but that was still worth doing. Okay, so I was thinking about what kind of jank we're going to run, and we are going to get started with some things like zombies. I've got a zombie deck I want to run, a wizard march. I actually got this idea a while back, I'm pretty sure from MTG Goldfish, but I've tweaked it a lot since then, so it's not the same deck that they introduced, but it does a lot of the same things. And let's see, Wizard March, what was the other one? Oh, Ascendancy. We might do Simic Ascendancy, is a lot of fun, so we'll check that out, see how that goes. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. All right, so let's go find. Okay, Wizard March is the one that I've done a little bit tweaking to even today. So I don't have any idea how smooth or not it's going to run. So one of the things that I changed up about how I run it that is interesting is I added Yorion. And so I also added Yorion as the companion, which means I have to run at least 80 cards in the deck. And I am not used to building anything quite like that. I mean, I'm really comfortable building 60 card decks. I mean, I do build commander decks, but I still have kind of a set place to start. So many lands for so many cards kind of thing, and then I tweak it from there. But this 80 card stuff is a little odd. Okay, so let's keep this. Let's see. Ooh, everything's kind of coming up on curve. Oddly enough, I might drop a land out of this. That's a really strange choice. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I think it's going to work. So we'll get our tapped land down first. Both of these can come in untapped if we pay the life, so that'll be fine. We might go ahead and cast this early so we have a creature on board, even though, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the creature on board even though we're not going to be able to use its kicker. I only have 2 copies of Seagate Stormcaller, and to be honest, it's one of those things in this deck that might not work at all. This deck works way more with the wizards themselves than it does other interaction cards. So I don't have a lot of instants and sorceries, which is really what this wants to do, is make copies of an instant or a sorcery. Not really going to see much of that, so I don't know. Looks like we're facing some lifelink, probably a vampire deck, and specifically I think we're going to go ahead and let it through and save our blocker for something later. Because to be honest, at this point, that's pretty much all that the Stormcaller is as a blocker. Let's go here, and let's go here. So yeah, we're going to be doing some blocking early on, but we're hoping that the Elite Guard Mage will kind of help us settle our board state as we go. And then here's the thing about this deck. This deck wants to stick Mirror March, and then we've got some cards. Virashino Pyromancer really loves Mirror March. And then, of course, later, if we need to, stick an Elite Guard Mage on a Mirror March. Those can be some really cool interactions. We'll see how that goes. And, of course, the Gitu Journey Mage with Mirror March is really cool. All right, so let's see. Wow. I think we're going to go ahead and let that through again, even though I almost feel like we probably should just chump block. But we can gain some life. So that's... Now, let's go ahead and force our own attack. Let's go ahead and see if we can't force something to happen here. Yeah, I don't see life gain, lots of life gain. It looks like it is going to be mono black. I don't see any white yet, and it definitely feels like it's themed to vampires, so it ought to be interesting. Is this I am a squirrel? Is that what that name is going for? Of course, squirrels just got a secret lair drop if you're into squirrels. All right. I don't know if it matters. They're both going to come in tapped and both going to do pretty much everything we want them to do. So let's just get one down. Let's get this going. All right. We're going to have to block the Child of Night, I think, to slow down our life loss here. Ooh. Okay, luckily Yoriana's flying and can block the Bloodthirsty Aerialist. So we've got to get that off the board. Got to get it off as soon as we can. So, ooh. If we could survive long enough to drop this first, that would have been great, but I think we're better off going ahead and getting that down. Because this is going to get so big so fast. We're going to lose it. Speaking of losing, we're about to lose everything if we don't draw. I mean, yeah. So I've tested this deck a little bit in the past. And it is kind of a deck that likes to just have that one big janky play that kind of puts everything together. And so far we don't really have that. And we have nothing to stop that. So that's game. Let's try it again before we change anything up. I don't know if that was a really good representation of the deck yet. Let's try it again. We'll see if we need to change anything. But so I know the chat is empty, but feel free to jump in and let's get something going. Let's see. Let's see if I got a question to get everybody going here. I say everybody. We're streaming to 3 different platforms, so sometimes it looks like there's nobody there on your platform, but there's usually others on other platforms. So let's see. What is your favorite jank? So now when people jump in and out, maybe they'll have a question to get going. And if you're on right now, what is your favorite jank? I don't know if I have a favorite because I try so many things all the time, but oh, it didn't finish typing. Oh, I say it didn't finish typing. My brain didn't finish typing because I didn't finish typing. All right. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, so we'll leave that there and hopefully get some conversation going soon. Okay, let's run Wizard March again. Because again, I don't think we got a good representation of what it does. So let's see if we can come up with something good here. This deck, it really wants to like have repetition. It wants to use that not Wizard March, the Mirror March card to repeat things, but it's got Yorion that also does that. So, all right, let's keep this first hand. I can't cast the Opt out of this hand, but the other wizards that are in a blue, the base camp will be fine. Oh, here we go. This will allow us to cast Opt. Let's go ahead and keep that. So this is interesting with, hey, D&D. So everybody keeps telling me I should play D&D, and I want to play D&D, but I don't have anybody set up to play with yet. I know the company that does this game, Magic the Gathering, also does is the company that makes D&D. So they actually cross over sometimes, and so I'm really excited about eventually getting to try D&D. So actually, there's a set for Magic the Gathering coming out just next year that is based on D&D. So it's going to be a really heavy crossover. And right now, the current set that just came out, Zendikar Rising, excuse me, introduced a new mechanic called the party mechanic. And so part of the way it works is you get triggers and benefits based on having a full party. And so it's not exactly the same because traditionally Magic the Gathering hasn't used the same terminology. But it's like, I think it's Wizard, Rogue, Warrior, and Cleric is what the party mechanic uses. Let's see, let's get that going. We'll hold on to that. So yeah, I really do want to get into it, and I've had a few people tell me I should, but I haven't. And I actually have one friend who's trying to set up a campaign, and I even looked into, so just here in our house, the four of us, we like doing stuff like this, although my oldest son sometimes not so much. But so I thought about even just the four of us here in the house could just do our own campaign and at least get started and do something. So I did some research. I kind of studied through the, I don't know what you call user guide or whatever on Wizards of the Coast website, but it was not light reading up. So there is so much going on there. But I read quite a bit. I read up on characters and how they work and how other things work, and so that was pretty cool. But yeah, just haven't put it together yet. Haven't found anybody doing a campaign that I could get into. Okay. So we just got through playing a mono black, looked like a vampire deck the round before, and now we're playing a very similar white and black. We got life gain going on over here, so probably similar triggers, but I haven't seen a whole lot on board yet. Looks like it's taking a while for our opponent to set things up. Okay, my guess is if we don't see an Ajani's Pride Mate soon, we're probably going to be trying to stall until the other combo piece for this infinite combo comes out. Let's see. If you want to try out D&D in an online campaign, yeah. I've thought about giving that a shot because everything has kind of become virtual in my world now. Get you a cameo in to try it out. Okay. That actually does sound like a lot of fun. All right, let's push everything to see if we can't force some blocks here. Our flyer will get through. Oh, everything's going to get through. Interesting. Makes sense since they can gain life. So appreciate Andrew jumping on. I know again we talked about the crossover between D&D and Magic the Gathering, but I'm assuming you're not a Magic player. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it would have come up by now if you were. Although, yeah, appreciate it. Send me a instant message or something. Let's see. Gosh, I have so much land, and this is what I was saying earlier with this type of deck, not knowing really how to build it and um, put the land in. Okay, so let's just actually no. I want to swing here. I kind of like that we're able to do a little bit of milling with those, although this deck isn't necessarily designed to do that. Um, I appreciate it. I hope it's good work. I'm trying. You know, I still think all the time about that conversation, man, you had the last time I was in Kansas City. Andrew and I talked about, you know, just doing stuff, and that's what I'm out here doing, just doing stuff. Can't I can't claim to not be a doer anymore. All right, what is going on? I feel like we're just biding our time until the other piece of this combo comes out. Um, yeah, we're not dealing enough damage to keep up with the life link that's going on over there. So let's see. Whenever you cast a sea wizard, okay, this and it's any target. This could be good. This could be real good. All right, I kind of think, you know, since mill really isn't our game plan, let's see if we can't force some blocks here too. And I think, excuse me, I think we're even going to cycle this. So land is usually something I want to keep, but I've got so much right now. I think we're going to actually cycle that. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll get our cycling going. That'll help out a lot. Wow, still no blocks. I mean, I know they're gaining life, and I get that part of it, but um, interesting. So it's too bad that Yorion doesn't count as a wizard. That would be really great. Okay, but there's no counter spells, so if we can just stay alive, we can cast... Oh, it can't be countered anyway. What am I thinking? So we're going to be able to cast Niv Mizzet. Well, that was an interesting... I would have taken out the flyer that you can't block. So strange. Okay. I'm going to go untapped. I mean, not untapped. I'm going to go tapped. I'm not going to pay the two is what I was trying to say there. Okay, so now we can deal a damage. Let's go straight to the face. I mean, we do have to decide whether or not, like how we want to do our blocking, because we've got to block. So I think we're only going to swing with Master of the Winds. So that we can block. But then I think we're really putting a hurt on come next turn. And the truth is, I feel like it's all because that their combo piece didn't quite come out. But unless... Okay, I mean, they're still gaining life. They've got to gain at least 2 more if they're going to do it without combat. If they gain 2 more life, we'll go down without combat. Okay. That was smart. But is it good enough? Is it going to be good enough? Okay, wait. Do I want to do that? So I have to cast a wizard. Oh yeah, we'll cast the wizard, we'll deal the damage, and then swing in with our flyer that can't be blocked. Done. Huh. So not necessarily a great win, but it's a win. I think part of our problem is there's too much going on. Like, we're not really a mill deck. Okay, so when I was checking out what I wanted to change, I put those in to see how it felt, to see if I wanted to go back and add things to be more of a mill deck, and just never took those out. And now I'm thinking, I mean, we just didn't, I don't think we hurt their library enough to justify that. Let's see. Nice. We're getting our quest done. That's always a big deal. Okay. So, yeah, we don't really need the mill. So let's take a look at that. And I don't even think I need these. Let's see. We could use more wild cards here, but this deck is not a deck I want to use wild cards on right now. So we won't do that. Do I have another Urion? I do. We could go there. Oh, I need 2 more cards. Ooh, you know what? I don't know if I want to add a land, because we nearly got flooded out. That last go. So let me think. I think we need more interaction. I'm not even sure if I like that card anyway. So let's go here. If we're gonna make this really funky thing go, let's see. I don't need that many cards. So I need something really quick and simple. I mean, we're in blue. I think most blue players would just, be easy, counterspell. I'm not a blue player per se. You know what, that's the other thing we could do. We could skip the blue and go to the red, and that will be even easier. Let's just go direct damage. Let's find something we can throw at their face. Which, here's my thing about direct damage. I want something that's going to target any target, and not necessarily a creature or a player. So let's go here, and let's try that. So there are some exceptions. What is it? Lava Coil. That's 4 damage for 2 and can exile a creature. Like, there's just so much benefit to that card that even though it doesn't have the versatility of being able to target any target, I still like to play it. Typically, though, I do prefer versatility. This is looking like a decent start. I don't have any white mana for this yet, but I'm not too worried about that even. Let's go here, and we'll opt on the end step. So, interesting. Okay, green and a Shadow Spear. That's interesting. Oh, speaking of green, that's another jank deck I have. I have and we might get to see that. Oh, I passed the turn before I played that. Oops. All right. I have I saw the Vivian Planeswalker avatar here. I have what I'm calling Vivian Tron, which is not a great. So I got my terminology mixed up. Tron is really more of an equipment type terminology when you're putting things together. So really what it is, it's not so much Vivian Tron as it's like Vivian Tribal. And so I should have titled it Vivian Tribal. But it's a deck that tries to play several Vivian Planeswalkers, but I didn't use a lot of wild cards on it, so just kind of what I had. So I actually might even could fit more, which I don't know if I still have this one built or not. I've got to build this again if I don't have it still. I built a Chandra Tribal, but it didn't just have the Chandra Planeswalkers. It had everything. The only cards besides basic land that were in the deck had to be named Chandra. So like, what's the one? There's the artifact Chandra's. Oh, what's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. There's a few creatures that have Chandra in the name. There's a few other cards, I think instants and sorceries, that have Chandra in the name. And so this deck, it was mono red, of course, and the only card it could have had to have cards it could have beside basic land had to have Chandra in the name, and it actually played decent because it's hard to build a bad mono red deck. They're just functionable. I don't know if that's a real word. They just function really well. So it was good. It wasn't great necessarily, but for something that had, I don't have the white mana yet, so let's skip that. For something that was so narrow, it worked. Oh, and there's the white mana we needed, so good deal. Let's get that down. Okay, so do we want to use her for her flash ability or just go ahead and get it down? I mean, we might as well just go ahead and get it down to get the +1/+1 and swing. Yeah, I like that. So this is actually not what I anticipated. We're getting out almost like an aggro deck route so far in front. I didn't anticipate that, but we'll take it. We'll take it for sure. Okay, Goreclaw. So there's some rampage going on. Might see something big come bigger. I mean, that's already big. Might see something even bigger coming out soon. Which, watching that get equipped reminds me, so I did some research. We use that term loosely anymore. I got on the internet and was looking for a version of a Boggles deck or Bogles. I call it Boggles because Megan and Maria from Good Luck High Five call it Boggles, but it's Bogles, I guess. So anyway, I was looking for a version of that deck that I might want to adapt and play. And in Historic, I was not crazy about what I saw. I think I would be almost mono green. Oh, I have to block. That is a bummer because I was going to use Yorion, which I'm sure the opponent anticipated that. All right, let's see what else we got. Hello. Let's see. So we can play Yorion, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to get Niv Mizzet out. Why? Because it's Niv Mizzet. Let's be honest. There are sometimes I'm paying less attention to all the interactions and timing of when I should play something, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I've got Niv Mizzet in my hand. I'm playing that. So that definitely happens. All right, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because now. So we're going to get to draw a card and deal damage. Let's go ahead and throw that damage at the face. Okay, we got our first mirror march. Can we get a payoff? I don't know how soon before we'll get a payoff from the mirror march. That's the only thing. So last time I had enough land, I went ahead and cycled one of those. I don't think we'll have that here. Okay, I'm only going to swing with one because I think we're going to need to block. Although it's trample, so blocking tramples like with one toughness is kind of meh. Not much going on there. Ooh. And this is not even going to be able to be blocked by that. Wow. That's a lot of damage. I don't think we can come back from that. Let's see. So I have to cast the wizard for this to trigger. So that won't even. Yeah, that's a bummer. I don't know how that's going to work as far as giving us the benefit we're looking for. Unless we got enough of them on the field, but see, the trigger didn't happen. So if we'd got enough of those on the field to then cast this afterwards, then we could have triggered off of those, but yeah, now we only have one copy, so we'll only get one damage, which is not going to do enough. Oh my goodness. The coin flip was not generous at all. Okay, that's game. I mean, we can chump block here. Well, I don't know. As long as these things don't grow, it may not be game. We might be able to block here, but I don't know if we. I mean, I don't know if we do anything next turn significant enough. We can block and stay alive, I think. But he's had good. She or he. They have had good cards in hand so far, and that's been. Yeah. So that there's not. We don't have enough blockers for the trample damage. There's too much trample going on. Yeah. No blocks. Let it go. We came really close. The life link really swung the game in our opponent's favor, but we came really close. If not for that life gain. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Gold tier 2. I'd love to get out of gold. We might play something a little less janky before long just to try to get out of gold. I definitely got some decks that are more competitive than they are janky, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see. All right, let's do something a little bit different because that was actually a good match. Even though it didn't go well at the end, it was a good match for something like that. I mean, that deck is only going to be so competitive. Like I said, I've got some stuff that is competitive, but let's play something. Ooh, High Alert. I feel like it's still competitive, but I mean, it has some of the it has weaknesses, right? Obviously. Oh, tokens. So this is not a typical token deck. I don't think I've seen too many people build anything quite like it. So I consider it to be janky. So let's try it out. It doesn't win a ton either, but it has some cool interaction. Kev bought 3,000. That's a cool name. I don't like the avatar. Ooh, only 2 land with this hand. We could risk it and hope we pull a land in enough time to get a Krenko down. Let's do that. Let's risk it. I'm risky when it comes to mulligans. I'm always afraid that I'm gonna, because I have had some long mulligans. Let's see. So here we go. This isn't bad. This could get us going. Yeah, I do not like these colors. That does not make me feel comfortable at all. Alright, here we go. Krenko's down. Krenko's probably about to die, either to a shock or it could be my hand. That's something blue likes to do, but I feel very confident Krenko's dead. Luckily, I got a backup Krenko. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so I was waiting on that Fable passage, and it's going to come in handy with Felidar Retreat, because I'll cast that and then sacrifice and get another one. So it's like a double trigger on that. Nice. Whoa, this is an artifact-based deck. Interesting. Alright. So let's go here. I think we're going to go ahead and put the 1/1 counters on, even though Krenko's probably about to get tapped. Not a lot of basic land in the deck, but we don't need a lot. So we'll get the 1/1 counters on. Resolve that. Let it go. At least hit with something. I think we're going to go ahead and get the other bishop down. Unfortunately, I gave up the white mana that I needed for Angelic Ascension. So what I like here is there's plenty of turns in this deck where on turn 1, maybe 2, I've already got like a little 1/1 token down. And then so on that end step, I turn that little 1/1 into a 4/4, and it actually, it hurts pretty good. Okay, so we know that's always going to get tapped. Don't really care, because now we're swinging fairly heavy. Ooh, Panharmonicon. Interesting. I want to build around that. That's something I would spend my wild cards on. I also just pulled, if you watched my draft the other morning, which was horrible, but I pulled an Aetherflux Reservoir. That's something I want to build around too. There's so many cards coming in with the Kaladesh Remastered that I'm trying to go back to decks and think about, okay, do I need to build a new deck for that? Do I want to add it to something? Do I want to do both? Yeah. I get pretty excited about some of those. Because I mean, I have played with some cards that do similar things, but I've never played with that particular card. Oh, that's interesting. I really thought with all that stuff going on that they were going to stabilize. Okay then. So our weird little token deck got a win. Let's keep going. Why not? We've also got some, I don't know if you drink chai tea, but got some chai, and actually this is something I found at my mother-in-law's. So chai, and it's pumpkin chai. So that's really good, especially when you're sitting around playing arena in the, it's winter time. So chai, pumpkin chai, and I like to add milk. But am I almost a platinum, or are you almost a platinum, Jeff? Nice win. Thanks, by the way. Because I don't know that I'm almost a platinum. I am what? Well, I think are we still in? I'm still in tier 2. Gold tier 2. Yeah. So I wouldn't say I'm almost a platinum. Dinosaur? Oh, is this an enraged deck? I was thinking about playing an enraged deck tonight, actually. I might still do that. I mean, enrage is interesting because it actually has had its moments in the sun where it's done really well. But I don't see very much of it in historic right now. Round. Oh, let's do that. So the Marauding Raptor can create a infinite combo with, oh, what's the other one? Is it Polyraptor? Yes, Polyraptor. The downside to the infinite combo is it ends in a draw. Like, you can't get, there's no way to get out of it. And I've done it before because I wanted to just see what happens. And I don't remember if I just didn't know it ended in a draw and I was surprised, or if I knew it and it was just like I want to do it anyway. I think I actually might have been surprised. I don't think I realized it until I'd done it. But, well, hello. Oh. Good to see you on the chat. All right, commune with dinosaurs. So the cool thing about Enrage is even though it has a mechanic that goes with it, it also is designed around a tribe. So it fits like everything I like to do. It's tribal, it's built around a mechanic. It's just cool. All right, we only have the one white right now. So I'm going to hold off so that I can use this at the end of the turn. Instead of casting that to get more tokens. Hopefully we get another white and we can stick divination. What is it? Visitation. I said that wrong. Divine Visitation. I've gotten tongue-tied a couple times here. That is one of the things I think this deck does really, really well. If I can get one of those down. I mean, we're just... Oh, I forgot to... Dang it. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I forgot to do a opt on the end of my turn on the last game. This game, I forgot to do that on the end of my turn. Oh, Jesse's here. Oh, we got a decent little crowd for Saturday night. You guys must not have anything to do. I'm just kidding. It is different because I really want to keep that morning time slot going. I really enjoy that. So I was like, oh, well, we'll do an evening and see how it goes. And I don't know. I just didn't think we'd see familiar faces. So I appreciate you guys jumping on. We are playing a token deck because I'm trying to play as much janky, weird stuff as I can. And started out. Actually, we got a win. But I think our win streak with this particular deck might be about over. I don't know that we can stop the trample of Galta. That is the one thing I've noticed that I'm having trouble with. Tokens do not stop trample very well. So, yeah. The one thing I could have done was probably turn it into a 4/4. I would have probably survived a little bit longer, but I just misplayed that. So there you go. If I had it open, that's what I would do. Well, we sometimes we learn by making mistakes. I totally would have stayed alive if I would have just not attacked and turned that Galta into a 4/4. It still would have hurt. And I would have had to have given up some blockers, but we could have stayed alive long enough, I think, to got something going. Maybe. I don't know. It still might have been pretty brutal. At this point, it's very brutal. So I don't know. I think I still kind of put it in the category of misplay. There's no guarantee that we would have won, but it definitely would have been, I think, a better call to go ahead and transform Galta, but and not attack. I think that was the other thing. So this deck does actually function better when it is being aggressive and attacking, but that is something I think as a player you have to figure out when to adjust your strategy, even within what a deck likes to do. All right, let's run it one more time. That could have gone better had I just played it better. And we did get a win the first go around. So let's give this deck another shot. Rad 1984. How much you want to bet Rad was born in 1984? That's my guess. I don't know. This is not good. Everything is 4 or 5 cost or higher, and I got 2 lands. We have to mulligan that hand. Okay, so this is a keeper, but we still don't have a good curve. So I'm not crazy about it, and I'm going to do something even crazier. I'm going to actually get rid of a land, but it's because I don't mind having these cards in hand knowing that I'm going to get to play them when I get enough land, and I'm at least starting out with enough land in hand to play Krenko. So depending on what's going on over here. Ooh, an Ornithopter out of the gate. Interesting. Alright, so we get a token to start with. Unfortunately, not only can it not block, even if it could block, it wouldn't be able to block the Ornithopter. This is interesting. I need some removal early. I don't know if I'm going to get it early. So, yeah, that did nothing. Sometimes I like to just see what they're going to do, even if what they're going to do should be obvious. Ooh, that's tough right there. I need more land. Alright, so it'll get a... Krenko gets a 1/1 counter when he attacks, but that's only going to make him a 2/3. It's still too vulnerable. Yeah, I need to get some removal soon. Otherwise, we might be out of this game early. Well, although if I could get some land going, we could probably swing it back in our way. Back our way in our direction. Okay, let's keep all of that. So now we just have to survive until we get our land going. So luckily, even the 2 flyers aren't too... Oh, another flyer. Oh, that hurts. I was going to say the bigger threats are not in the air, so that kind of benefits us. But now that's going to hurt. Okay. Okay, so let's get... This isn't going to do us any good because it's going to put things on the ground. It's not going to put anything in the air. No blockers. I didn't draw any of my removal to get those out of the air. That's game. Ah. Alright, well, we knew odds of climbing particularly high on the ladder with all this jank stuff wasn't going to be great, but getting that first win and then having some close gains was decent. Thanks, Buzz. Alright, let's run one more with this token deck because it does have some pretty cool things up its sleeve. I'd love to get Krinko going. But yeah, if it gets going, the cool thing is if it gets going, it grows while it creates all the tokens. So it's really, really cool. Ooh, Blade Runner 9732. Yeah, I hope we get the next game. All right, land is okay. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's play it. So we'll get Sky Knight out on our second, on curve, so we'll be on a second turn. These are not going to be, I'm not going to be able to cast those anytime soon because I don't have a ton of white mana, I don't think. So we'll get Sky Knight, Vanguard out on curve. If we get some more land going, we'll at least get the Anointed Procession out before long. That's a card for this deck. I should probably spend the extra wild cards for another copy or 2. I think I have 2 copies in the deck. It's definitely something you should have 4 of if you're playing a token deck, I think. But don't have enough wild cards. And I think I'm getting to a place where the debate here is this going to be simply a janky deck that's only going to win sometimes? Or if I go ahead and spend wild cards on some solid cards, does that make it worth it? But then it's like, well, if I spend the wild cards to try to make this more competitive, then do I just tear it up and move it away from something that just is janky and into the competitive meta? Because there's plenty of deck lists out there for decks based around Anointed Procession. Your chats might come in late. Oh, you'll be fine. Okay, so Blade Runner is playing, is it? Some red and blue, so I'm expecting probably to get a shock to the Sky Knight, get that removed. Maybe holding out for a counter spell. So we'll have to start thinking about that. Oh, that's a fun card. That makes me want to play my, what's the name of that card? High Alert. Makes me want to play my High Alert deck. Alright, let's go ahead and go here. Because this gives my tokens lifelink and vigilance. I couldn't think of lifelink. The word just slipped. Yes, this card, so cool. If you haven't seen that yet, it's so cool in the High Alert deck, especially if you run, which you should run. Is it not Tatsuya? What's her name? Tetsuko. I think it's Tetsuko. Anyway, she lets your creatures with power 1 or less go unblockable. Yeah. And then you deal damage with your toughness. Oh, that's so fun. We might get into some of that tonight. I actually haven't played that deck in a while. It would be fun to get that out. And I spent a fair amount of wild cards to build that one because I really wanted to check it out. All right, let's see. Okay, there's a Krenko. So Krenko will get that. There's anything on the board that's going to kill him? What am I using right now? So this is a deck based around tokens. And, so there's no counterspell there. That's interesting. I really expected that to get countered. All right, let's swing with everything except Teysa. I'm trying to think. So Teysa gives the lifelink and vigilance, but I don't think I have anything in here with a death trigger. So her main ability, which I use a lot in some other decks, I don't think actually fit. No, that's not true. It does fit this deck. Bishop of Wings has a death trigger for angels. So no, it does synergize. I think that's the thing that makes this so janky, though. There's so many different things trying to synergize that sometimes they, I don't know, they just get in each other's way. It's like, oh, I need to cast this to do this and cast that to do that. And it's like, oh, which am I going to cast first? I don't know. So, which that's, I don't know, becomes typical when I build because I have a hard time narrowing down what I want to do. I want to do too many things a lot of times. All right, let's get a plains down. That's going to be very helpful here. All right, so I'm a little afraid of the flying, but not yet. So to do that, I think let's go here so that when we swing, we get extra tokens. Nice. You know, I'm thinking Krenko would really benefit from something giving him extra counters. Maybe I should build a deck that does a good job of that. I'm sure there's some lists out there. I might go look for a list that does that. All right, let's end turn. So I have two of these, and there's threats on the board, but I just have this feeling there's something else coming that's going to be a bigger threat. So I'm going to hold off on the Conclave Tribunal, which will allow me to exile something. I don't think we've seen the worst of what our opponent has yet. And we may still take out the Crackling Drake if it grows too big, but right now it's only a 1/4 and that's not threatening enough. Now if it gets big enough that it can kill our Sky Knight on attack, or even if it can block and kill the Krenko, then yeah. Oh, this is interesting. So I want this on the battlefield. Do I want either of these down yet? I don't think I need either of those down yet. I think we're going to go here. Let's see. Huh. Okay, so I'm surprised this is the first counterspell we've seen this game, but I'm not surprised we're seeing it. Yeah, I really just thought we'd have seen more by now, but that's okay. So the good thing is that did not make the Crackling Drake big enough to block and kill Krenko. Let's just do this. Let's do attack all and just pull back Teysa. Yeah, so Sky Knight is probably going to die this time, but not before it gives us some triggers. So we'll probably lose. I mean, that's a sure block. That makes sense. Krenko will get blocked, but he'll have to double block to kill Krenko, which could happen. Okay, not going to kill Krenko, just going to block there. Interesting. All right, this is setting up really well. I'm really glad I played this another time. It felt good, even though we lost those last two games. It didn't feel too bad. I mean, and like I said, when I decided to play this again, I wanted to get Krenko going, and we've done that, and like that's okay. So that just tapped it. Yes, okay, and it can't untap on the next turn. So that hurts a little bit because it's going to slow us down. And I don't know that I'm crazy about giving our opponent time to recuperate. The fact that we were being aggressive was a big deal. But we can take out a blocker next turn. And so we might be lucky enough that the sheer numbers, I don't know. See, now we're losing numbers on our side. Let's see. So we got 6, 7, 8. And if we go ahead and count Tesa, that makes 9 attackers. If we can take out a blocker here. Let's get rid of the Crackling Drake because it's going to hurt us down the road. Let's not tap anything yet. We're going to have to do some math here, folks. Let's see how the math works out. So we've got 6, 7, 8 1-1s. So let's say 4 of those get blocked. That's 4, 5, 6. But this will get blocked. So it's going to leave us, I think that's going to be 1 short. I think we're going to be one damage short. Did I do that wrong? If you can do quick math better than me, throw it in the chat. I think I may have done that wrong. I think I'm going to come up maybe 1 short. Okay, so that's what? 4, 5, 6. No, it's exactly 6. No, it was 5. I had it right the first time. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. And let's go ahead. No, let's wait. Let's wait on that. We could have gone ahead and removed something, but I still feel like there's a bigger threat coming. And the truth is, our opponent has to change the board state. Like, they have to do something, or dealing 1 damage next turn is not that hard. Okay. So 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's not enough. I think we won. I think a board wipe would have done it, but yeah, I think we're here. I'm just going to swing with everything real quick and see if we don't just put our opponent out of their misery. Because I'm pretty sure the math is in our favor this time. One, 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Unless there's, can take maybe one creature out with a shock here. But I still think we have too many. I think it's just a numbers game. So, that's crazy. Our opponent took all that time to declare blockers. Okay, they played it out. I mean, I guess there's something to be said about playing it out. I would have scooped for sure. Scooped. That's what I would have done. Scooped it up. All right. What else is going on? It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. At least in my time zone, it's Saturday night. Um, nice emoji. Um, all right. Let's see. White or green? Let's change things up. Tokens were great. All right, let's get down here to some of the crazy stuff. Let's think. Oh, Vivian. All right, let me take a look at this real quick and see if I want to change anything. So this is actually Vivian Tron. I was saying this earlier. Should not be the name. It should be like a Vivian tribal, because Tron is not the right word. Okay, so our goal here is to run as many Vivians as we can make sense to run in the deck. But I also haven't used wildcards to get more. So let me go see. All right. I've got all the ones that I own. I've got a few wildcards left. I don't know that it makes sense to push any more right now, though. So I think we're just going to play this the way it is. I haven't played this in so long. I don't really remember how well it plays. I mean, it's mono green, so it's not complicated. Mono green wants to ramp and swing creatures sideways. So 7D, 33, and O. Am I missing something? Is there an I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something there. Oh, I completely forgot I put an Ulamog in here. Nice. Although it, I don't know, feels very meta. It's kind of the thing to do right now, is if you're not running, oh, what's his face? The Spirit Dragon and Ulamog, you're kind of not running what everybody else is. All right. So we got early ramp and the Incubation Druid. One of my favorite cards. You don't see Gigantosaurus get played very much. And mainly, I'm sure, because he doesn't have any keywords. And so, even in mono green, yeah. So even in mono green, he's not especially strong. Like, if you can give him trample, it's great. And I don't remember for sure if I have Garrick. Is it Garrick's Uprising? Is that the name of it? I'm pretty sure it's Garrick's Uprising that would give it trample. But, yeah, if you stick it with trample, it's sweet. It just doesn't have trample on its own. And so it does have that downside. Okay, so I could go ahead. No, I can't. Never mind. I was going to say, I could go ahead and kill that. Nope, not yet. I have to get the counters on it first. And then we can do that. But by giving it the additional loyalty counter, it will survive an attack. Luminarch. Almost got tongue-tied again. Luminarch Aspirant. So we're going to see a lot of counters being put on creatures. I wonder if this is maybe going to also utilize Proliferate. That's one of the cool things about Historic, is you've got access to things like that. I think I may have destroyed my... I'm going to go here first. I really want this on the board right now, but I'm going here first just because I'm going to be able to get card draw when the Gigantosaurus lands from the Great Henge. And I always like card draw. So even though it'd be nice to have that on the board, we're going to go here first, then there. And then it'll get a 1/1 counter as well as card draw. Oh, and see, now we've also drawn out a removal spell first, so that's good. And even though that got rid of our mana ramp, the Great Henge is also a mana ramp. Oh no, now that hurt. That really hurt. Do I own any frogs as pets? No, I'm... I mean, I think frogs are cool. I'll go that far. Not cool enough to have as a pet. I would, no. I'm pretty sure I've never owned a frog as a pet either. And I never will because my wife is absolutely terrified of frogs. As strange as that may sound. No frogs in our house. Not happening. All right. Oh, this is getting old. Everything I put down is getting destroyed. And I'm not going to be able to cast much anytime soon because Ulamog's going to be a while. This may seem crazy not to put a blocker down, but oh, it is crazier than I thought because I just didn't pay attention to my totals there. Gosh. Math. Okay, that wasn't a math problem. Let me be honest. That was not a math problem. That was, I just didn't look down. I did not look down. In my head, I just kept thinking, I got at least one more turn. Nope, didn't look down. Didn't look at my life total. It was, why did I do that? I could have blocked one. But here's the thing, I don't think I was going to stabilize. I mean, blocking for one more turn, it wouldn't have done anything. So. Okay, but we have to do that again. You have a poisonous 7-year-old frog. There's so much about that sentence. You own a frog, and it's poisonous, and it's 7 years old. So have you had it for 7 years? Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're talking about your poisonous frog buzz. And do you take it on the road with you? Oh, that's so crazy. All right, here we go. Let's go open this pack before we play anymore, because, you know, the best thing about Magic the Gathering is opening packs. I don't see much I care for, so let's get to the good stuff. Oh, well, it's not a bad card. I don't know. I wish it had trample or something, kind of like the other one. Yeah, it'll do. What's that movie? Babe, it'll do, pig, it'll do. That's probably not even how that line goes, but it's how I remember it. You ever notice that happens, especially like you remember something as a kid and you become an adult and then you realize, oh, yeah, I remembered that wrong. I don't know. It'll do, pig. His name is Fred the Frog. That's awesome. Okay, I'm keeping this hand. I don't know if I have enough ramp to get to all this big stuff I've got going on though. So this might end badly. Yeah. I'd love to get, as long as I don't draw more high CMC stuff, we might be okay. Yikes. I mean, typically two land and mana dork, like how could you not keep that? But I'm starting to think maybe this wasn't the right one. Alright, more land. Okay. So we're getting closer to being able to cast all this crazy stuff in our hand. Let's see what we got. Fire Belly Toad. I mean, I bet it's gorgeous. Okay. So Nyx Lotus is a really interesting card. I don't play a ton of it. It works really good in certain decks. But it likes the fact, so cards like that Giganosaurus, it might be missing trample, but it really helps out with things like Nyx Lotus. So gives it some more value. Oh, here we go. Now you know what? I want to get Vivian down, but there's so much value in the Elder Gargaroth. So much value that we're going to go there first. Okay. So this ought to be interesting as a matchup because in green-white, I can see that there could be some exile effects and maybe some fight effects. But I think we might be okay because I don't know that there's going to be an abundance of removal. Maybe Death Touch. Death Touch could show up in green. So that's always my concern, is that I'm going to get, like that last game, really everything got removed and we were just kind of stuck. All right, let's go here. And actually, so we're still going to have green mana from that. We could use the +1. See if I can remember what this one does. We put it in our hand, so this could work out even better. Oh, no creatures. Okay, well, we'll take the land. Nice, because we get to use the devotion from that. This is working the way it's supposed to. And I think, again, the matchup might be just the right matchup for this. Alright, so we're not going to cast a creature spell this turn, so there's no point in going down. Let's go reach just in case. Alright, so now we're going to get... Let's go card draw. I mean, I feel like that's the best value, unless you really need the other two, you know, the extra creature or the life gain. Card draw is always such a good value. Hey, we're about to have all of our Vivians. Oh no! That hurt. But it doesn't hurt that bad. I mean, we were getting card draw, and that was really good value, but we got so much going on. I don't think it's going to kill us. That was not the worst time to see us settle the wreckage. Oh, now this card. Oh my goodness. This is almost like a Johnny's Pride Mate to me. Like, it's not that it's you know, it's not OP. Like, it's not an overpowered card. I just get tired of it because you have to deal with it. Like, it's one of those cards when it comes out, you do have to deal with it. And I've lost so much to it. So maybe I'm salty. I'll be honest about that. I could be salty. Okay, let's go here. Okay, which one is this? Let's go ahead and do that too. So this is probably where we see a scoop. Let's see if the opponent, Irene, let's see if Irene sticks around after Ulamog resolves. Oh, I forgot to do that first. That was a misplay. Let's see, how much mana do I have? I don't have enough to cast any more creatures. Let's go here first then. Let's see if we get any value out of this. Okay. So now we'll do that. And that. Okay, not a lot of value, just another mana dork, but hey, we did it. With our tribal Vivian deck here, we almost had all three out that turn. I say all three, all three that I have available right now. I think did you guys count? I didn't count. Was there 5 or 6 different versions of Vivian in this deck? Well, this is interesting. Our opponent is going to keep going. Alright, so we have to go... I don't want to lose this Vivian yet, so we're not going to go down. We're going to go ahead and go up. Wow, we're going to have to use everything to get that down. Let's not do that yet. Let's go here. Gosh, we got 12 mana available right there. Let's use it. Yeah, we can auto pay. That's fine. I love it when the auto pay does what it's supposed to do and doesn't give you some weird combination that doesn't make any sense. Alright. I don't think there is anything over there that we can destroy. So we'll go up. Oh, this is going to be insane if we can get that down. Yeah, let's give Ulamog Vigilance. And there we go. That's crazy. And still no scoop. Like, they're sticking it out. Way to go, Irene. I mean, another Settle the Wreckage, so if they leave open mana next turn, like, that would make us think twice for sure. But, I mean, outside of Settle the Wreckage, well, okay, this is historic. So Irene does have access to things like I'm pretty sure Wrath of God is in, but there's so many board wipes in white. Cleansing Nova. There's the new one that just came out in Zendikar Rising. Um, yeah, there's several board wipes in white right now in Historic. So I mean, there could have been something there. Hey, good win. Let's do that one more time. I want to play the Simic Ascendancy deck tonight too. Get all the good jank stuff out. I didn't play zombies yet, have I? I've got a zombies. Oh, I know. We should get to Liliana's contract. I have that, and I want to see if there's some new cards. I don't know if I looked at the Kaladesh for demons. Are there any good demons in Kaladesh? Do I have an advantage of the people that I play against? What? I don't know what I mean by not do. What? For the people I play against. I don't know what you mean by advantage. You'll have to help me out there. Okay, this is going to be a decent hand too. Tony? Is that just supposed to be a funny way of spelling Tony? Oh, interesting. So something tells me we're going to see a lot of pump spells going on. And I'd like to get that off the board as soon as possible. That's a, it's a 1/1, but double strike is a little scary. And if they're true to their avatar, Nahiri will probably want to equip it. Okay, what just happened? Path of Bravery. I don't remember this. This is Jumpstart. As long as your life total is greater than or equal to your starting life total, creatures get 1/1. Whenever one or more creatures you control attack, gain life equal to the number of attacking creatures. Interesting. See, we got to get rid of that. I don't know. Yes, this should do it. This should get rid of it. Boom. All right. Advantage over people you play against. You have support. Oh, I have an advantage because I have support. Oh, see, I told you there was board wipes in white. Shatter the Sky. Done. Gone. Wow. All right. Yep, submit 0. We still get to the +1, even though it submits 0. So that's helpful. All right, I probably don't need to say it because everybody watching probably is already a subscriber. But please, if you are not following me on the channels, the different platforms, please subscribe, like, do all those things. Probably should say that more often just to keep that in everybody's mind. If we're going to grow, if we're going to get more followers, we need to keep that in mind, folks. Please help me out. I'm not begging. Of course I'm not begging. All I want to do is quit my day job. Just kidding, not. All right, here we go. So one of my best removal options is gone now. So let's try simply putting something bigger than Fencing Ace. Even with double strike, Gigantosaurus should be in good shape. All right. Oh, you rang the bell? Nice. All right, let's see. I think we're going to go here. I need to hurry up and get a counter. Yeah, I need to hurry up and adapt the incubation druid. Oh yeah, let's just do that. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that before it gets ugly. Nice. We're not going to attack yet because we don't have trample yet, but we can give it trample. Gigantosaurus with trample is going to be... and that little bell. Okay. Good advice. I don't... So, I don't know what happens when you ring the bell. Oh, that gives you notifications. That's what that one does. That's a YouTube thing. Oh, YouTube. Good old YouTube. It's been around forever. Alright, up to 2 creatures. So let's do that. Gigantosaurus doesn't need any more power and toughness. No, what he needs is trample. Oh, you're kidding me. That's unreal. We just played aggressive mammoth and Gigantosaurus on the same turn. That's a lot of mana. That's pretty awesome. That's a scoop. So this deck could probably do most of what it does without the Vivians at all. It's just so typical mono green, but actually the Vivians do help. Like that one let me get rid of the double strike, so nice. Oh, you can ring. Well, that's good to know. Does it look like a bell like the one on YouTube does? I don't know. Let's see. Do we want to do that again? I don't know. That's getting kind of late. Let's switch things up. I really want to do that Simic Ascendancy. Oh, and I forgot I still have the high alert. Gosh, I mean, we don't have to play all of our jank tonight. I just thought, why not get on here and do that? Do some jank. Let's see, where did... There it is. I hate when these things get shuffled around. Alright, let's do this, and maybe we'll save some of our other janky stuff, like the Liliana's Contract. That's Liliana's Contract there, and of course High Alert. If you haven't seen how that functions, it is so cool to see. So we'll do it soon. But I think we may just do Simic Ascendancy tonight to wrap up. So much cool stuff out there to do. Some of it can be competitive. Putting all your Vivians in one deck's not too bad, apparently. Alright, so if you're not familiar with Simic Ascendancy, this enchantment, we are going to, we need to get 20 counters on it. It gives a counter whenever another creature gets a 1/1 counter, and if we start our upkeep with 20 or more counters, we win the game. So we are going for an alternate win con, which Liliana's Contract is also an alternate win con. Maybe that's what I should do, is do a strictly alternate win con night. Or morning, since I mostly stream in the morning. We could do that. That actually sounds like a pretty good time. A reverse China Charizard. Okay, so I know who Charizard is, and I know that they're pretty valuable right now, but I don't know what reverse would mean. And I'm assuming China just means, is it like got Chinese characters on it? So like I know in Magic the Gathering, sometimes the Japanese cards are worth a lot. They have, obviously, instead of English on them, it's Japanese. It's pretty cool, actually. It's really hard to play them. I have a deck that I always have to remember what it does, because obviously can't read it. Nice. Okay, I've got to remember what all I've got in here. Okay, we got to get. So these are helpful for ramp the Euro, but it's also going to be helpful to get us some life until we get some creatures down and we can block. Yeah, send me a picture. That'd be cool. All right, let's go ahead. We'll gain a little bit of life. Nice. We'll stick that. And scry, so that's going to be good. Let's not do that right now. Alright, that wasn't a bad card that we just put on the bottom of our library. Actually, with the way this deck works, it's a really good card. Excuse me. But at the moment, I'd rather see more land. Or I don't know, just something that maybe could take care of these flyers. So at the moment, Hydroid Krasis is going to be really important because he can block the flyers. But see, without more land, it's going to be kind of tough. Because I'm only going to be able to cast him for 2. But at this point, I kind of need to. Oh, here we go. We can at least go 3. Alright, let's do that. Let's stick him for 3. And he should get an extra counter from Branching Evolution, so that should help. Alright. Oh, is it twice as many? Oh, it's twice as many. That card is so much better than I remembered. Well, okay, I say I remembered. I haven't played with it much because it just came out with Jumpstart. And I know there's a card. Is it Cons of Tarkir, I think, was when it came out. You might remember better than me. That gives it an additional 1/1 counter. And that's the one I was thinking I had. Alright, so we're going in the right direction here. I wish I actually had another one sitting on another one of those, but let's go here. Okay, land's not bad. I think we might go... Oh, I can't go Vivian yet. So let's go with another... Oh, this is going to be crazy. Okay. So we're almost at a point where we're just trying to survive long enough to stack up on Simic Ascendancy. And I think having the Branching Evolution going, we might be able to do it pretty hard here soon. Like throw a lot of counters on. The only thing is, if we don't figure out a way, we got to figure. I mean, we got a blocker, but at some point, I think the numbers are just going to get ahead of us with the amount of flyers that are over there. Okay, we can take. Can we take out a flyer this way? Yes, we can get rid of at least one flyer this way. All right. So we'll lose Vivian to. Okay, there's a flyer. Let's get rid of that one. We'll lose Vivian to an attack next turn, I'm sure. But that's okay. That's okay. This is... I feel like I'm at a huge disadvantage looking at the board. But... I don't know. Let's go ahead and opt here. We still have open blue mana, so we haven't given everything away. Ooh, let's not keep that. Oh, it's not flying, but that's a good card. Gosh, so much flying. Alright, so the good thing is, by having Vivian on the board, even though we're going to lose her, we're killing a creature by blocking. So this is actually not working out too bad. So that's one less flyer over there. And we still have a blocker. Okay. Oh, and we can proliferate here. Wait. So that would give us twice and twice. So that'd be 1, 2, 4. Is that right? Oh, I don't know how that's going to work. That could be really, really good. And we'll draw a card when we do. Let's go ahead and do it. So it's getting the order right with some of these things that gets weird too. Oh, nice. So I think we did that in really good order because now we can go here. Oh, I almost want to stick this first, but I can't do both in the same turn. So let's go here. How many do I have? 1, 2, so I can go 4. That might be enough if I can survive the next turn. So that's the thing, it has to be on my upkeep. So if we get the 20, oh, it was enough. Because there's the scoop. So we had to survive the next turn to get to our upkeep for that to trigger. But apparently we were destined to survive. That was good. We might do that again. I love it when these funky decks are actually working because now we actually have gotten a couple wins, and we might hit platinum playing these crazy decks. I didn't even pay attention to where we were at just then. Let's do that again. Okay, so if I don't have 4 copies of, shoot, what's the name of it? The other enchantment. I might go ahead and use wild cards on that. Like this deck could really, it could work. Like this could be more competitive than Janky now. I'm getting kind of excited about this one. We might have to go spin some wild cards. Chris Herman. All right, let's see. It's not the best draw, but I think we can work with it. I do think we can work with it. I tell you what, that Sahili is a really cool avatar. I have not seen that avatar in a while. It's kind of mesmerizing with those colors. Got the purple and the blue. Reminds me of the Jeweled Lotus. Yep. I might lose because I'm staring at Sahili. And I don't recognize this pet thing, the flower. I don't really, I don't know, man. I mean, I have a pet, but it's not that big a deal. But I haven't seen that one. That's interesting. Oh, Chris Herman. Whoever you are interesting. What is this deck? It's ramping. It has, okay, Aftermath. That's Almond Cat Remastered. Okay. So let's, it's an instant. I could do this on my instep, but as you can tell, I like to forget that I have plans to do things on my instep. So even though it's an instant, it probably made a lot of sense to go ahead and play it now. I left 2 blue mana open, so that's helpful because our opponent doesn't know that I don't like to play counter spells. Now the opponent probably knows, but it is a good idea to leave them open even if I don't have them. It can affect decision making there. Okay, so we already have one ascendancy down, so it doesn't do a lot of good to have 2 unless your opponent has the ability to destroy an enchantment. You can maybe have some redundancy there, but as far as the triggers are concerned, I mean, I don't know that it's going to help to have 2 down. There's no real benefit of stacking them other than, the redundancy if needed. So the contentious plan will not proliferate anything right now, but it might be worth playing just for the card draw if I can't get something that I can play on this next draw. And I don't like where we're at. I don't have an especially playable hand, and the opponent is, I don't know, that's a lot of land. A Planeswalker already out. I'm going to go ahead and do this and see if we can't get another card in our hand to do something. Wow. Do I have... Excuse me. I don't have the right mana. That is a great card to have, but I don't have the right mana. I'm missing the green, so hopefully I pull a forest. I really need to pull a forest here. Ooh. This is exile up to 3 target enchantments. Oh, that's probably game right there. Can we win the game without? I mean, we can't. Okay, we can win without Simic Ascendancy, but I just don't know that we have any way of keeping up with what's about to happen on this side of the board, because we know we're not going to win with Simic Ascendancy. So we're going to have to rely on the other things that we can do, and I don't know if we can keep up with everything that's going to go on over there. Let's keep the land going. The good thing is we're going to have enough mana to cast Nissa next turn, and that'll help us ramp even more, and it'll give us board presence with turning our lands into creatures. But something tells me we're not even going to be close to winning this game. I don't think we're even going to be close. Alright, what's going to happen? What you got? Counterspell. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I hate counterspells so much. I mean, I guess I could have anticipated that and gone with this Vivian first. There's no guarantee that there aren't more counterspells in their hand, so even that wasn't a guarantee. But let's try it now. I mean, that's the thing. At some point, you can't... Drawing out counterspells is a good play, but at some point, I mean, you have to be able to just play stuff you need to play. And if you can't play it, then you're just, might be at a point of admitting loss. And we're probably going to be admitting loss here soon. So we just doubled, or we didn't double that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about a deck like what we're up against is unless we're playing control versus control. Is that Omniscience? Oh my goodness. This is insane. Anyway, I hate Omniscience. I have a friend who plays it in Commander. And I don't think I've ever won a Commander game after Omniscience hit the battlefield. I hate, excuse me, I hate that card. I mean, I'm not crazy about playing against a control type deck anyway. But then when you're not playing control against control, then you kind of have to get to them before they get going. And like at this point, this deck is full. I mean, yeah, it's running like a well-oiled machine at this point. I mean, it's going to be able to cast anything it wants with Omniscience, copy those things. Yeah. That was interesting. Why not copy that and wipe that out when that was... I'd have just copied that maybe. I don't know, maybe there's something I missed. Okay. And draw cards. If there weren't card draw, it would be worth sitting here trying to see if we've got a chance. But with our opponent having card draw and Omniscience, I don't know if it's worth sitting here. We might go a little bit longer. Okay, if this gets countered, I'm pretty sure I'm giving up. I don't... Alright, so it didn't get countered. Let's see. I should have had this down first. That would have been so much better. Okay, that's interesting. So that got countered, but our creature stays. Okay, I guess we can live with that. So our opponent really doesn't want us to win with Simic Ascendancy, but allowed our creature. So there's no card draw on the board. So interesting. Are we gonna survive because our opponent just doesn't have enough hands to capitalize? Enough cards in hand? That's funny. Chris Herman, you do not have enough hands. Probably not enough cards in hand to get the payoff of Omniscience. That could be really interesting. Huh. I mean, I don't have any card advantage right now either, so let's see. Okay, is there going to be any benefit to playing this first? I don't think so. So let's go here. Let's get a decent sized creature on the board. Actually, you know what? I do want to play this first, just to help me calculate mana. You know, I've already proven my quick math is sketchy, right? Alright, and then let's also go ahead and at least... Let's do that. Whoops. Alright. Okay. And then... So just one... So 3. Looks like 3. 4. See, I can't count 4. Alright. So we can't block the flyer, but we can deal with it later. I mean, how lucky would we be if Chris Herman's over there drawing land or something? Well, the scry is gonna... Yeah, that's gonna make a big difference, I'm sure. Just shuffle all your land to the bottom. This is interesting. I mean, it all depends on what that... I mean, that card could be something to just straight up kill us right off and not be a big deal, but... I don't know. I did not anticipate this being as competitive as it is right now, that's for sure. Alright. Is Euro going to save the day? Give us some life gain. We drop another land. Oh, I don't even remember if I have anything in my sideboard. I never play with a sideboard, so I don't even remember if I have anything. So I better not use that yet. Okay, should we go ahead and get rid of something? See, I'm almost more afraid at this point of something like, you know, the copying a big direct damage spell than I am the fact that there's a few creatures on the board. Like, that doesn't scare me too much. I have trample. I think I'm going to go ahead and start swinging. I should probably be considering taking out the Planeswalker, but I don't know. I'm almost thinking my advantage might be in getting damage in. I don't know yet. Okay, so we're returning Fae of Wishes. So not drawing much of anything apparently. But what is Fae of Wishes going to get? Wishes? Card draw. Okay. So I guess if you draw enough cards, you're bound to have something to play. Yikes. Well, this might be the end. That's a lot of card draw. That's a lot of cards. Is there any way we come back now? Okay, so the other... That can deal damage to a creature. Is it any target? Target creature. Okay, so... Is it Viceroy? Ral can kill a creature. but I don't think it can deal me direct damage. Maybe we'll get really lucky and our opponent will just mill themselves out. I don't anticipate that happening, but I would take that win all day long. Proliferating a lot. So what's the ultimate? Oh. So that's how we're going to die. The Viceroy's ultimate emblem is, that's how we're going to die. Okay. There's no surprise that we're dying here. I had that feeling a long time ago. But there was a moment when there was only like one or no cards in hand in our opponent's hand that I thought we might have a chance. $90. The first one is going for 120. Good pulls. Good pulls. I don't think I own any Magic the Gathering cards that go for quite that high. I have pulled some good ones though. I might have some. I think my highest right now are probably more in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 bucks. But my problem is I've gotten the luck lately where I'll pull something really good, and then either it's like banned the next day. That happened to me once, and so the value dropped. And then I pulled another card. As soon as I pulled it, they announced a reprint, and the value dropped. And those were both really high dollar cards that just plummeted. All right, that was fun. Do I want to end it there after Simic Ascendancy, or run one more funky deck before we call it a night? Let's see. Lich's Mastery is another funky deck. I've got so many of these funky ones. Did I get the text? I haven't looked at them. I'm sure I did. My phone lit up. That Death Touch is a fun deck. I just want to run one more. You know what? I want to do the High Alert. Where did it go? We'll get into some of this other funky stuff on a different stream, but I think we'll end the night with one match, maybe two, of High Alert. If you are familiar with it, you've seen it, it's nothing new. If you haven't seen it, it was a deck that was around quite a bit a few standards ago. Made a pretty decent splash, and it takes creatures with 0 or low power but high toughness and turns them into attackers and can do it quickly. So this is a key card in the deck, but I need land 2 desperately right now. So we're gonna send it back. Tetsuko is a key card in the deck because that's makes them unblockable, and then there's a few cards that make your cards with Defender, allows them to attack. Okay, we need white right now. Been helpful too, but I think I'll have an easier time finding green than white. I don't really remember for sure. All right, so Tetsuko would make these unblockable, but I don't have anything out just yet to let them attack because they have Defender. So you kind of have to, you got to get this puzzle put together. But once we do, it's so much fun. All right. So actually, let's see, each creature you control assigns combat damage with its toughness rather than its power, and creatures you control can attack as if they didn't have Defender. So this is one of the namesakes of the deck, High Alert, and that will let us do this. Now on the next turn, we can throw down Tetsuko, and so even if there's blockers, they can't block anymore. So this gets out of control fast if it works. Okay, so I don't need Tetsuko yet. So let's go with another attacker that actually also lets us draw a card. Nice, and then we'll swing in. So, I mean, at this point, our opponent either has to change the whole board or it's over. And they did not. So scoop. What are they doing? Why not scoop? It's over. Why? Okay, there we go. That's what this deck can do. Let's do it again. That was so fast. Of course, it may not go that fast next time, but we'll see. Yes, I enjoyed that match. Yeah, this was worth the wild cards. It doesn't always work out that way, obviously, but I mean, no deck always wins, but um, it can be consistent, which is, I think, the thing we're always looking for. I mean, I feel like that's where, a lot of my decks land is they're good, they have really good turns, but they don't have those really good turns often enough. They're just not consistent enough. But all right, so just because I have to practice remembering things like this, I'm going to repeat one more time before we get out of here. Please do the like, subscribe thing, follow whatever platform you're on. Share. Like, I don't know, if your friend group cares too much about gaming or Magic the Gathering. I know it's like I was saying the other day on my stream, it's really funny. My friends on Facebook that have no clue what I'm doing, they don't have a clue, but they still chime in sometimes and look. They'll get on. They'll click the button. So go ahead and share it, please, to your friends, and let's build a fun little community here online. You can support that way. You can support by subscribing, liking, sharing, all those good things. You can also currently support by buying your coffee from me. That link is in my Twitch bio. I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm not a salesman. I am, but I do have that available to help with support. So feel free to check that out. And what's going on here with Maddie DHC? It's an interesting name. So we got Liliana Avatar, which should mean we're playing like against zombies or something. And this is a flyer deck. You don't get a Liliana Avatar. But of course I'm playing with a Sarkhan Avatar, and I ain't playing no dragons or red, so who am I to talk, I guess. Like and subscribe, that's right. I don't know. As quick and fun as this deck is, I don't know if it's going to stand up to flyers very well. Alright, let's try. The good thing is we do have a little bit of removal, so it will help. Yep, Deputy of Detention, and then we also have a Banishing Light for later. So that'll definitely help slow things down. Then we can start sticking some of our big things. There's that Raging Isle, Leviathan Crab. Oh, it's such a cool card. Such a cool card. Like, this is what Magic is all about to me. These just awesome, crazy, weird, cool cards. And let me also say, this is, to me, one of the best perks about Arena is there's no guarantee I'm going to pull that in a deck, or in a pack rather, in paper, and I'm probably not going to pull a play set. So I'm going to go buy those. Well, I'm not going to go buy those unless they're cheap, which, okay, they might be, because it is a card that needs to be in the right deck. And so I will say sometimes I do get some really cool stuff, because I do buy singles when I'm trying to build a deck, and sometimes I do come across really cool stuff that's not too expensive. But my point was going to be on Arena, like, okay, so Euro that I played, or Euro, I don't know, I pronounce it Euro. Euro, in that other deck I was playing, I mean, that's a really expensive card if you're going to buy singles to run that card. So it's so cool on Arena that you can get away with spending wild cards. I play the game for free. I mean, over the last, I guess, 2 years that I've played it, last year I probably did spend maybe in the ballpark of $30. This year I've spent zero. So I say I play for free because for the most part I do. And I get to play with some of these really expensive, or they would be really expensive cards in paper. But I get to play with them here on Arena, so that's a really cool perk. I really like that. But let's see. Started watching someone, and they started YouTube making Magic Gathering videos, and he just went from 100 subscribers to 500 in a month. Hey, that's really cool. I'll take that. Nice stream. Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd love to build it. I definitely think I'm going to have to try to do some more streams. I don't know how fast it'll grow, just doing it in the morning, but that time slot just works so well for me. I wish I could just do it full time, but that's not a reality right now. So we'll see how fast we can grow, with their time restriction, but it's all good. I mean, I do want to be successful. There's no doubt about that, but also got to learn how to be patient. That's something I've got to do as well. Is that an octopus emoji? I don't know what I'm looking at there. These flyers, I don't think this deck can handle flyers. I really don't. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I can get aggressive if I can stick this next high alert. No, see, yeah, it's over already. I didn't even count how much damage there was on the board right there. I mean, yeah, it just didn't feel quite right. All right, this is definitely the last deck we're going to run tonight, but I might run it one more time. Got to get to bed sometime, folks. Well, I didn't drink coffee. I drank that chai tea, so it didn't have as much caffeine, so I don't have to worry too much. I was afraid if I had a cup of coffee tonight, I'd have a hard time. Not that you want to hear all about how hard it is for me to go to sleep, but I do recommend the chai tea, and I do recommend the pumpkin chai. I think that's, what's that company that makes a ton of tea? Twinings, isn't that what it's called? Pumpkin chai. Always add milk. If you're not accustomed to drinking hot tea, I recommend adding some milk. Cyrox, that's a cool name. Cool spelling. Okay, Fabled Passage is good, but it's not as functionable in the early hand. I like it later. Three copies of Cherex. Gosh, guys, I hate to mulligan, but I think I have to. Okay, I like the mana base. I like Tetsuka early. Chulane. Chulane's a great card, but it's going to make me have to make a decision as to what we... I don't know that getting rid of our removal is a great idea, but I think I'm going to do it. Used to be friends with a really good YouTuber. Cool, I'll take tips. I got no problem with that. Okay, let's go with our tapped land first, since I don't have any 1-drops. And then on turn 2, we can draw a card when we drop Wall of Blossoms. Okay, this is interesting. How many times have we seen this deck tonight? Well, tonight maybe only 2 or 3. This may be 4 at the most. But on a regular basis, we see this deck all the time. All the time. Which is a little bit of a bummer because we're in Historic where we have access to so many cards. But, yeah, I don't know. I get it. Everybody wants to be competitive and play certain kind of decks. And don't get me wrong, I have similar decks to this. But, gosh, I hate seeing it over and over all the time. Alright, so let's go here first. I'm going to wait on Deputy Detention to see if there's something better to take out. We'll just have a blocker for now. So they're going to be gaining life. Our blocker can't kill. So we're going to have to deal with that. And I think this is any permanent. Yes, any non-land permanent. So that's going to be... If the enchantment comes out, that's the other side of that combo, it's going to be really helpful to have the Deputy out. Available. And we might get to cast Tulane here. That might be another place I go with my wild cards. I've got a few decks now that I've played tonight that have made me think I might have a home for wild cards. I don't know that I need to build another deck. I can just go tweak some of these. Okay, so he used it on my Planeswalker. Let's see. All right, okay. We need one more land for Tulane. I still don't think I'm quite ready to go there. I'm going to go here. Yeah, this is okay. So we're either going to force a block or get through. If we're going to take 2 damage, because we'll be wide open next turn. And at some point we're going to have to consider our life total, but I'm not too worried about that yet. Let's see. We have a good, good look. Well, that's funny. I used to tell people, and I have a face for radio. Although I've been complimented on my voice before, so I do appreciate that. Compliments obviously are appreciated, but it's hard to I think have confidence, but it's also hard to accept compliments, especially when you're new. I was probably my wife, I was telling somebody that it's really hard when you haven't established a following to convince yourself that there's going to be a following, to convince yourself that people will like it. If you've never, been put out there and have anything to show for it. And I don't feel like I have a lot to show for, what I've put out there so far. But I'm also, in a place where we can just keep going. I've got no reason to stop putting content out there. And so eventually if people love it, great. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm sitting here noticing. Have you guys noticed how this like sand rolling in? The graphics? It's some pretty good animation. Got the pyramid, Nicol Bolas's horns, and this sand is really cool the way it rolls in back there. So that might sound kind of lame to you, but I think that's pretty cool. Okay, Cyrox, are you roping or do you have to go to the bathroom? What's going on, buddy? Let's figure this out. Maybe they're honestly debating whether or not they want to scoop here. So, okay, it's fun to get wins when you have the when we're climbing the ladder. So like we're getting close to platinum. So it's good to get wins here, right? But I don't like the early scoop when I'm playing with these decks that I want to see what they can do. Alright, so we're unblockable now. Tetsuka's on the battlefield, and our defenders and walls can attack because of high alert. Like, this is what this deck wants to do. Really, really good. Okay, so I have a friend that plays with Tulane in a commander deck. It's really cool. I'm a big fan. But this art, I always think Tulane has flying, and so I always forget that Tulane doesn't actually have flying. Okay, speaking of flying, I do think it makes sense to go ahead and use the deputy because we need to eliminate the flyer. Alright, let's go ahead and get some card draw. Okay, yes, let's do that. So if you noticed, that was the work that Tulane can do. When we cast a creature, we just drew a card and put a land on the battlefield, and then we're about to put another land on the battlefield. Like, so good. And we're going to go ahead and crack this, even though we don't have to right now. I don't think it even matters. We have all the colors we need, so I'm just going to pick a land. Okay, so Tulane is not unblockable, so we're just going to send the two that are unblockable. I mean, I think it's over. We'll see what our opponent has. Um, I mean, it's mono black. They got removal. They could very easily take out Tetsuko, and that does put a hurting on us. But I still think we're going to have too much at the end. By the end of the turn, I think we're going to be able to deal the 5 damage a little too easily. Even if Tetsuko is gone. Okay, so lifelink actually does help. So that keeps them in the game. Okay, I see why they're not scooping. Lifelink will keep them in the game. But not if they can't get rid of Tetsuko. It doesn't matter if you have lifelink, because we're going to have enough unblockable stuff. Okay, so that's a hard cast from the adventure. That wasn't playing the adventure. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. Yeah, it might take a while, and I do agree with you. It'll be worth it. So that's what we're doing. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Why did they not scoop? They just wanted to see this? Because it's all unblockable. Okay, there we go. Cyrox, good game. Okay, where does that leave us? Oh, we are 1 game away. I keep wanting to take off and shut her down, but let's go 1 more. Like, we have to go 1 more. We're 1 game away from platinum. And we've run so much jank tonight. So much jank. Alright, let's... And I don't necessarily consider this deck to be jank anymore, because it did have a substantial run. Now, I kind of consider it jank at this point just because its run is pretty much over. But YouTube pays after 1,000. Well, let's get to 1,000. Help me get there. Call your buddies. Call everybody. Let's make some money. No. I mean, yes, but, I mean, alright. Emrakul was banned. That's a cool username. Alright, so we got 2 land with no blue. That's not a keeper. Not a keeper. Okay, so we have all 3 colors in 2 mana. Gosh, this isn't a really good keeper either, but do I go to 5? No, let's keep, but it's not a great hand to keep. Let's get rid of 1 of those. Alright, we can scry. That's helpful. So, as much as we like Tulane, we need land. So let's do that. Alright, now let's see how accurate their avatar is. I always like to do that, which, to be honest, it is kind of silly when my avatar is not always very accurate, but still. Okay, green and a Johnny. That's actually not bad. Was banned. Alright, yes. Leave the land. Nice. Okay, good deal. We got our land. So that's going to give us 3. We got 2 cards. We can. Whoa! Haven't seen one of those in a long time. Let's get rid of that. Indestructible, Death Touch, and a whole bunch of other words. Ay, ay, ay. Hopefully that hurt that deck a lot. I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, now they're getting their ramp going. Red? That's interesting. I don't think it's going to hurt us. Alright, so now we can attack with Defender. Nice. This is good. This is good. Support me all the way through. I appreciate it. Alright. Gilded Goose. Okay, I feel a little let down by Gilded Goose. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be... So, okay, actually when I first saw it, I wasn't too impressed. And then everybody was talking it up. So then I thought, well, maybe I just am underestimating it. So then I started playing it with it more. And so I thought maybe it's just me. And then the more I played, I still am underimpressed. I just don't know. Like Yes, you get the food. Yes, it can sacrifice the food, but at the end of the day, it's good, but not great, is my opinion. I don't think it's great. I think it's good. But there was a time when I felt like there were a lot of people talking as if the gilded goose was great. So I'm not that high on it. I think it's good. Okay, so I know when you're on Twitch, you can see how many people. When you're on YouTube and Facebook, can you also see how many people are watching? And I ask that because my suspicion is that people get on and when they see that there's not very many viewers, they tend to give up early on a stream. That's my suspicion. Okay. Now back to the game. Are we gonna get to platinum? Let's see. Oh, it could. Yep, it just hit me. There's nothing there to block, even without Tetsuko. We didn't get to swing with it. That was one of those times where I get the scoop, but I really wanted to turn that thing sideways and see it go. That would have been so cool. Platinum. We made it to platinum. I mean, it ain't mythic, but playing the decks we were playing, that was a pretty good goal for the night. I'm pretty excited, pretty happy. Now we just got to get back to Diamond. We finished last season Diamond 4 or 3. I made it to Diamond 3, but I don't remember if I finished in Diamond 3. So, last season Diamond. Now we're back to Platinum. Not bad. Alright. That's kind of okay. Gilligan Goose is good. Yeah. Okay, that was fun. I'm going to go ahead and plan on getting off of here now. So, I've already said the like, subscribe stuff, but it was good for me to practice, thinking about that. There's definitely been some streams where I didn't even consider that kind of thing, but, we do want to grow. So I'm going to practice thinking about, talking about that and more. And, hey, Saturday night, you don't have to go to bed, but you are done watching me because I'm done. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out. For those who aren't on here anymore, when you rewatch this, because this is such a good stream, you're going to rewatch it for sure, right? Appreciate you guys as well if you're not on here. All right, thanks everybody. See you later. I'll be back Monday morning. I'll be back for sure. I might jump on tomorrow, I don't know, but Monday morning you can expect me to be back on.